That tension in the air? Something's off tonight. Someone's watching too closely. Someone in power? Yeah, the one behind the badge is nervous. Why? Because you make them question their control. Oh, they've been whispering your name in quiet corners, haven't they? Checking reports, scanning your moves, pretending it's just procedure. But nah, it's not about procedure. It's about fear. Their fear of you, of what you represent. You ever notice how calm shakes people more than chaos? That's you. Silent, focused, unreadable. And it bothers them because you're not like the rest. Right? You don't fold easy. You walk steady while their rules tremble under your steps. Wow, it's poetic. The way truth can make power sweat. They thought they could predict you, control you, define you. But here you are, rewriting the script. No noise, no begging, no fear, just purpose, just discipline, just that quiet storm behind your eyes. So listen up. Don't click away. Stay right here, 'cause what's coming next isn't just a story. It's a reveal, a mind game between fear and truth, between control and calm. And trust me, by the end of this video, you'll feel it. You'll understand why they're nervous, why they move the way they do. Because once you see it, once you hear it, you can't unsee it. You'll start noticing it everywhere, in faces, in orders, in silence. That moment where authority loses its balance, when truth stands tall. Oh, and before we dive in, a tribute to you. Yes, you, the ones watching, thinking, questioning, not swallowing everything fed to them. You're the reason this voice speaks. You're the spark that keeps truth alive. You're not just an audience. You're the mirror that power fears to face. Yeah, you're the ones they can't predict, the ones who see through the act. So drop a comment right now and tell me you're awake. Tell me you feel that pressure in the air, that shift coming, because tonight we're pulling the curtain off the act. No mercy. This isn't noise, this is awakening. This is the moment before action. Fear always arrives before the truth does. That's the thing about them. The ones in uniform. They walk like they own control, but you can smell the nervousness beneath the badge. You can see it in their eyes, that flicker, that tiny shake that says this one isn't like the others. Oh, they study you. They whisper your name in rooms you'll never enter. They pull files, check records, chase shadows of your words, because they feel something they can't describe. A quiet kind of threat that doesn't raise its voice but still rearranges the air. You can almost hear their hearts pounding through the silence. And you stand there, calm, breathing, watching. Because deep down, you understand something they never will. Fear doesn't come from danger. It comes from truth. They don't fear what you'll do. They fear what you mean. You represent something that doesn't bow, something that doesn't fit in their lines, something that makes their rules look small. You don't scream. You don't fight for attention. You simply exist with that stillness, and that stillness makes them shake. Wow, it's almost poetic, isn't it? The more peaceful you become, the louder their alarms get. They start to act. They can't help it. They talk about procedures, containment, monitoring, big words to hide small panic. They build walls around you, not to trap you, but to protect themselves from the reflection you carry. Yeah, they think they're protecting order, but what they're really protecting is their comfort. Their illusion that power still belongs to them. You've seen it happen before. The way control slips, it never falls all at once. It crumbles quietly. A word here, a look there, a question that shouldn't have been asked. Then suddenly, their confidence breaks, like glass under truth. They sense something about you. They can't categorize. You don't chase approval. You don't crave their nod. You move with a kind of purpose that doesn't ask for permission. And that terrifies them more than anything. Because people like you remind them, power isn't what you hold. Power is what you are. Oh wow, you can see it happening now, can't you? The officer standing across from you pretending to be calm, pretending not to care. But you see that micro expression, that twitch of the lip, that glance that lingers 1 second too long. He's nervous. Not because you did anything wrong, but because your silence says too much. You smile, just slightly, because you understand this game isn't about force, it's about presence. You don't need to break their system, you just need to stand tall inside it. And suddenly it starts bending itself around you. They try to study your pattern, but there isn't one. You're not chaos, you're precision. Every pause, every word, every move chosen. That's what shakes them. You're not reacting. Nah, you're not the danger they expect. You're something colder, sharper, real. Their fear isn't the kind that screams. It's the kind that whispers behind closed doors. It spreads quietly, from one officer to another, until even the confident ones start second-guessing their control. They're not nervous because of your past. They're nervous because of your potential, because deep down they feel it. You could take everything they stand for and make it look small. And when someone like you stands in front of them, calm and unshaken, they realize something awful. Maybe the power they've been chasing their whole lives was never real in the first place. Oh, and that realization? That's the true spark. The one that turns order into paranoia. The one that makes calm faces crack and whispers turn to shouts. Because once fear tastes truth, it can never go back. And they've tasted it now. When fear moves first, reason doesn't stand a chance. And there it is, the shift. The air changes. The calm before the storm finally cracks. They're moving now, not because you attacked, not because you broke a rule, but because their imagination did. Oh, it's strange, isn't it? How a person can convince themselves a calm face means danger. They don't wait for proof. They build it. They make stories out of silence. Every breath you take becomes a theory. Every glance becomes evidence. They tell themselves, better to act now before it's too late. So they move, fast, loud. But deep down, they're shaking. You see, fear never attacks from courage. It attacks from confusion. And when confusion wears a badge, the world trembles. You can feel it now, the tension in the air, thick like smoke. They walk toward you with that fake confidence, like children pretending to be giants. Their hands tighten, their eyes dart. Every word they say sounds like a question wrapped in command. Wow, this is the moment they waited for. The moment they believe they have control. but they don't understand. Control isn't built on force. It's built on truth. And truth doesn't need backup. You stay calm. Not because you're weak, but because you've seen this before. You know that noise is their shield. The louder they talk, the more afraid they are of silence. Silence makes them see themselves, and what they see scares them more than you ever could. Yeah. Let them act. Let them follow their training. Let them play their part. You've already studied this game from every angle. You know where fear hides, behind orders, behind words like safety and procedure. But you've learned that true safety doesn't come from control. It comes from knowing who you are. When control disappears, they move closer. You don't flinch. Every second that passes feels heavier for them, not for you, because they expected panic. They wanted it. It would have made their fear look justified, but instead, you gave them calm. Calm, the one thing fear can't argue with. Nah, you don't need to fight. You don't even need to explain. Because people who act from fear don't hear explanations. They only hear echoes of their own doubt. So you let them step into their own storm. You stand still, watching as fear eats their reason alive. You see their voices rise, their movements shake. You see the moment when control leaves their eyes and truth replaces it. And that truth is simple. They never feared you because of what you might do. They feared you because you refused to fear them. Oh, and once they realize that everything changes, the mask drops, the power flips, the hunter starts feeling hunted. Because when fear acts first, it exposes itself. And when it exposes itself, it breaks. When power breaks, truth walks in wearing no disguise. So, what do you do when power cracks open right before your eyes? You don't rush. You don't cheer. You watch. Because that's the moment the mask slips, the one they wore so proudly, believing it made them invincible. But now, that same mask is falling apart, piece by piece. You see their confidence leak out with every blink. Their voice trembles. Their hand, once firm, starts to shake. They want to speak, but words betray them. The silence becomes heavier than any command they've ever given. Oh, it's a strange sight. The ones who once looked down on you are now looking through you, as if searching for the person they used to believe they could control. But he's not there anymore. What they see now is someone they can't define. Because when the mask breaks, the truth that hides behind it burns, and it burns them more than it burns you. You don't smile. You don't gloat. You simply stand there, calm, aware, alive in the moment. You're watching the system realize it has no idea how to deal with someone who doesn't break under pressure. Wow. It's almost beautiful, the collapse of illusion. You can feel the shift, like the air is learning a new rhythm. They can sense it too. It's written all over their faces. The old balance is gone. Yeah, they thought fear would make you fold. But fear doesn't work on someone who has already faced their own reflection. You've walked through worse storms than this. You've felt silence sharper than any blade. You've learned that peace isn't the absence of conflict. It's the ability to stay centered inside it. So you let them stumble. You let them speak their rehearsed lines, their empty threats, their hollow words about control and order. Because you know every sound they make now is only covering the truth. they can't admit. They've lost the upper hand. You stand still, not because you're frozen, but because you've mastered motion without moving. Your stillness speaks louder than their orders ever could. It says, I see you, I understand, and I'm not afraid. Nah, you're not their enemy. You're their mirror, and that's what they can't bear to face. Because when they look at you, they don't see danger. They see everything they've denied in themselves. The courage they lost, the strength they buried, the truth they avoided. It's almost tragic, really. The badge, the uniform, the posture, all of it built to protect them from that one realization, that no matter how loud authority speaks, it still trembles in front of conscience. And that's the real secret, isn't it? The reason they act, the reason they panic, it's not you they're fighting, it's themselves. Oh, the silence stretches long now. The storm has passed, but the tension remains. They step back, pretending to assess, pretending it's just another procedure. But you know better. You see the crack, and once a crack appears, it never truly heals. Because power can rebuild rules, it can rewrite laws, but it can't erase the moment it realized it was afraid. And that realization changes everything. Truth doesn't shout. It just walks in, and everything else falls silent. When power realizes it's afraid, truth doesn't hide. It steps forward, quiet, calm, certain. No badge, no noise, just presence. The kind of presence that makes even the boldest men take a step back. Oh, it's strange to watch. They still talk, still command, still cling to their words like a lifeline. But their voices sound smaller now. They can hear it too. The difference, the loss of weight behind their tone. It's not you shaking anymore, it's them. You stay centered, breathing slow. Every move you make feels like a message. I'm still here. You don't need to prove anything. You don't need to win. Because the moment fear meets truth, the outcome is already written. They start asking questions they don't even believe in. Why are you calm? What are you hiding? They want to box you in, give your silence a label, make your calm seem like guilt. But calm isn't guilt. Calm is control of the inner world, the kind that can't be forced or faked. Wow. You can almost feel their minds racing. They're looking for weakness, but all they find is reflection. Their own eyes staring back at them, unsure, caught in the mirror you've become. Yeah, that's what truth does. It reflects, it doesn't destroy power. It exposes it. It shows who's real and who's performing. And once that curtain drops, once the lights fade and the act is over, only reality remains. They sense it now. That quiet shift where authority becomes human again. You see it in the way they lower their voice, in the way they pause before speaking, as if rethinking everything they believed about control. You could push them. You could humiliate them. But you don't. You let truth do what truth always does. Stand without aggression. Because real strength doesn't need noise to be heard. It's silent, patient, undeniable. Nah, they'll try to recover, to rebuild the illusion, to hide their fear behind protocol, but they can't erase what they've seen in that still moment. A person who doesn't move for fear, who doesn't need validation to exist. That image will follow them. It'll echo in their memory every time they meet someone like you again. It'll remind them that power without balance turns fragile, that fear pretending to be strength always breaks. Oh, they'll walk away tonight pretending nothing happened. Papers will be written, reports filed, words like observed, monitored, controlled. But deep down, they'll know something changed today. Something inside the system took a breath it's never taken before, because when truth steps forward, it doesn't just challenge the world, it teaches it. Well, you feel that silence now, that heavy calm after the storm. Yeah, that's what truth sounds like. Quiet, but it stays. The noise fades, the eyes stop watching, but something in the air won't let go. You heard it tonight, and now it's inside you. That realization, that power once nervous about you, wasn't nervous without reason. Wow. Look at how far you've come just listening. You didn't blink. You didn't scroll away. You faced the tension head on. That's rare, because most people avoid what shakes them, but not you. You stayed. You watched. You understood. That's the difference between someone who just hears words and someone who wakes up from them. So here's the truth before we go. Fear never wins when awareness walks in. Every time you choose calm over panic, patience over noise, they lose a piece of their control. That's why they react. That's why they move. They sense growth they can't measure, strength they can't record. Yeah, let them keep watching. Let them keep guessing. Let them wonder why your silence feels heavier than their orders, because you don't owe noise to anyone, you owe balance to yourself. That's the lesson hidden under every shadow tonight. Nah, this isn't the end. It's the pause before the next step, the calm before the next rise. Every viewer here, you're not just watching a video, you're part of the movement that fear can't define. You're the reminder that truth doesn't fade when the lights cut off, it spreads. So drop your thoughts below. Every comment, every word, they matter. Speak your mind with clarity, with strength. That's how this message grows. That's how truth keeps walking. To everyone who stayed till the end, respect. You didn't just listen. You felt it. You gave these words meaning. You gave this story life. You are the reason power pays attention now.